welcome back to Top 3 Tuesday. The last question got a pretty good reception with the exception of a few people that didn't quite understand what it was that I was asking. I expected that though, and we all had good fun with it. There were several, and by several I mean I think exactly 7, maybe 8 videos posted to my Facebook page, which is cool. Unfortunately, they didn't get a lot of votes, which is odd because I know a lot of people saw the posts, they just didn't take the time to vote on them, which means there were a few videos that didn't get any votes at all from anybody other than me. And I hate to see that. So, if you have time over the next week and a half or so, as responses are being posted, go check them out, vote for your favorites, or vote for all of them that you like. Just vote for some of them, so we don't end up with videos that don't have any votes. Now, this week's question is the top 3 most obscure items in your collection. And they don't have to be the rarest or the most valuable, though they certainly can be, like one of mine is going to be. What I really want to see are those items that you come across and think, I didn't even know that thing existed, and it is really cool. For example, the Pointmaster Fire Control for the Atari 2600. This is a rapid fire adapter for the Atari 2600 joystick. You plug it into the back of the system, you plug the joystick into it, and instead of having to constantly mash on the button in certain games, which weakens your grip on the controller and doesn't give you as much accuracy with the joystick, this thing allows you to just hold down on the button, which means you can maintain a good grip and you have much finer control. I love this thing because the Atari 2600 joystick is one of my favorite all-time controllers, and this makes it much easier to use, or more enjoyable to use anyway. Now, I picked this up, I think, for $2. I bought 3 or 4 of them for $2 a piece. If they still have them at that place, I will leave the link in the description. If not, check them out on eBay. I think you can still get them for $8 or $9. Really makes it even more of a joy to use the Atari 2600 joystick. Number 2 is the Compro Videoplexer for the Atari 2600. And yes, I know I've shown this several times in the past, but it really was, when I found it, a very obscure item. And it happened to be a very rare item and a very expensive item at the time. Somebody has found an entire container full of these things, and they posted them on eBay. That's when I got mine. Other people apparently bought dozens of them, and now they're selling them. So they seem to be very common nowadays, even though they're still fairly rare. You can find 2 or 3 of these at any given time on eBay for around $65 or $70 shipped. It is cool, though. If you have your Atari 2600 out on display, this thing is covered in wood grain. It allows you to put 8 different cartridges in at one time and switch between them, and it just looks really cool sitting next to the Atari 2600. So if you see it, pick it up, because it's a pretty cool thing. Finally, I have an item that is extremely rare, pretty expensive, and very obscure. And yes, I have shown this one. Pardon me for a second. This is the APF MP1000, or as it says in here, M1000. You'll notice that my lighting's different now. Everything is falling apart tonight. This is something that I have searched for years. It was one of the last 2 systems I needed for my collection, and it's the type of thing that comes up on eBay only 2 or 3 times a year, and when it does, it is extremely expensive, even if it's broken, which in the listing it said that the controllers didn't work on this one. Now, I got it home and I was able to fix them. It turns out that the springs in it were so stiff that it didn't allow good connection. I took them out, I put in springs that are less stiff, and you can see here that it moves pretty easy now. Still doesn't work great, but it does. Also, it was listed improperly, so I was able to get it for a good price. But this thing, very uncommon. If you see it sitting around, pick it up, because you probably won't ever see it again. You may not ever see it again other than in this video, so take a good look. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully nothing else breaks before I get to edit this video. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Remember to vote on the videos.